Hey guys, in this video, I'll be showing you guys how I'm able to sign 3K SMMA clients without any case studies or testimonials, right? If you do not believe me and do not believe that I actually done it, just scroll through my YouTube and you'll see a lot of live closes with payment collected on the call, right? And if you need help learning how to close SMMA clients, just drop me a DM on my Instagram. I'll leave a link down below. Anyways, let's not waste time here and get straight into it. So typically, when you're trying to close SMMA clients, you gotta learn how to structure your sales calls, right? And that's the main problem. Without any structure, right, you will not be able to build the gap wide enough and be able to show your solution as the bridge behind where they are right now and where they want to be, right? So how do you do that? So the call should be structured into five pillars, right? The intro, the frame, discovery phase, the pitch, and the close. So in the intro, let's start with that. What this stage typically is just you building like initial rapport, right? Just means that the prospect comes on the call and you're like, hey, how are you, how's your week, just passing the baton a couple of times, asking some questions, right, about the prospect, right? Just don't spend too much time here because it's not really that important. You just want to identify that you're not a bot, you're a real human being, right? And you have some good energy, right? And you're here to show him how you're able to get him leads. Because in the end of the day, the prospect's on the call with you because he wants to get leads. He doesn't care about the weather. He doesn't care that you like his football team that he's supporting. He doesn't care about any of that. None of that will help you close, right? The only thing that will help you close is widen the gap, right? And I'll show you how to do that later in the video, right? So key thing here is just ask a couple questions, just show that you're not a bot and just really some good energy. And typically, this section just has to last like 5% of the call, right? You shouldn't be spending too much time here, right? It's just to build some initial rapport, right? So next part of the sales call is just setting the frame, right? And this again should only take like 5% of the call. It shouldn't take up much time. And what essentially the frame is you're just framing the call and you're setting the outline of like what the call, what's going to happen in the call, right? Because if you start asking questions about the prospects like business or goals or desires or pains, without any structure, without him knowing why you're asking, like he'll show a lot of resistance, right? And we do not want that. So typically, what you want to do is just ask him. You just say, hey, like we only got 45 minutes booked here, right? I'll start asking you questions about your business. How's that working right now? What you feel is the biggest bottlenecks keeping you from moving forward. And if we're even able to help you, right, we'll show you what we got. If not, we'll give you some homework, right, or refer you to someone. Is that okay? Boom. That's just the frame. Right? It's pretty simple. Should not take any time. It's just you outlining the call and what the call is going to entail, right? So the next step is the discovery phase. And this is the most important part of the call because in the discovery phase is where the sale is made, right? And you should spend like roughly 60% of the call here, because this is where, right? This is where the magic happens. This is where you're going to ask the questions, right? This is where you're actually discovering and isolating the problem, stretching it so that the prospect can know if he actually had a problem within his business. And once you have these answers, once you have the answers from the prospect, then you can tailor a customized solution for his problem, right? So discovery phase, how I like to do it is just first by asking him, specifically, what is the biggest challenges in his business, right? What's his biggest challenge in terms of sales right now? And he'll always give you an answer. Most of the times, he will tell you exactly what the problem with his business is. And obviously, whatever he says, always take it as a grain of salt, right? So, for example, if I ask him like, so what is the biggest challenge in terms of your business right now, or what's the biggest challenge in terms of your sales? Um, it's like, I'm not getting enough leads. Oh, okay. Enough leads. Like, what are you currently doing right now to get leads? You know? So here you're just asking background questions about the methods that he's using to generate leads, why he doesn't like it, what would he change about if he could, right? And then you want to actually isolate the problem because everything he says is going to be very generic. So here you want to do a lot of probing by asking, okay, what do you exactly mean when you say this? Oh, when you say that, like, what do you mean specifically? Once you get the problem, right, you want to chunk it down in discovery phase, meaning that, because everything that the prospect says is, intangible, right? You don't know what the problem is. So what I mean by taking the intangible to tangible is just asking him again follow-up question, a series follow-up questions to actually get into the underlying issue behind why the way he's generating leads right now is the problem stopping him from getting more sales, right? And here you want to, if you're able to identify that clearly, the prospect will understand, hey, what I'm doing right now is not working. You want him to actually think that, oh shit, like what I'm doing right now is not working. So then he'll actually think, okay, I might need to potentially partner with you so you can help me, right? So once you isolate the problem, right, what I want you to do here as well is, like, stretch it a bit. You can ask him, hey, like, you've been doing this for X, Y, Z amount of time, um, or like, what's stopping you from like making a change, or what's stopping you from doing this on your own, right? Or you said that you had this issue for this while. Like, have you tried anything else in the market to solve this problem? Right? What would you be looking for in a team like us? Like questions like this, just stretching the problem, understanding what has he tried, right? Why he can't do it on his own? Because if he can do it on his own, why would he work with you, right? And like, what would he be looking in a team like us? Because like, if you can ask him that, he'll directly tell you, okay, this is what I'm looking for in a marketing team. Once you do that, and once you get the goal, what you want to understand is the why now. Like, why is it important to him right now for him to change the situation? Because once you understand, if you can make him understand, like, why it's important right now for him to stop what he's doing and actually change his situation, you can build that internal urgency. Because we're not trying to build some external urgency on these sales calls by like making some adjustments in the offer, saying if you pay today on the call, right, you're gonna get a discount. You want to build that internal urgency, because if it has the internal urgency and it has the resources to buy, that he will definitely move forward with the product. Then obviously, then you want to get to the goal, right? So what is his goal? Why is that his goal? How's that goal going, if he gets to it, impact his personal life, his business life? Always probe around it. And so once you get to the problem, right, and once you isolate it, right, and once you stretch it to see, okay, this problem has been going on for a while, and build the why now, what you're doing is creating a gap between where he is right now, right? And when you ask him his goal, between where he wants to be, right? And everything in between that is the reason why he's where he is at today and why he's not where he wants to be. Does that make sense? I go into more depth in other videos, and if you want to go depth with me one-on-one into how this works, just drop me a DM, right? Then you want to do your pitch. And the pitch, again, should only take 10% of the call, right? You don't want to be presenting for like a whole 40 minutes showing your presentation, right? I used to do that. And that's the reason why I used to suck at sales. I used to hop on the call and legit just present. Like, they don't care about your features. They don't care about, marketing. They've heard it all before. What they care about is how your system, specifically the pillars behind it, is going to help them, get to where they want to be by removing the pains that they had in the past, right? Because in the end of the day, your solution has to be the simultaneous explanation behind why everything else in the past has not worked. And if you're able to explain your method in that way, you're going to close them, right? And this is why in the pitch, you just gotta keep it short and make sure that you're tackling and actually addressing the problems that he has with his current marketing system, right? So in nature, the pitch has to be educational, right? It's not supposed to be something that you're reading off a script, right? It just has to be why what he's doing right now is not working and why he should work with you to get where he wants to be. And so in the end of the day, if he walks out the call, he actually learns something new and actually understands, okay, this is the problem that I have, and this is what I can potentially do to solve it, right? So if you explain it in this manner, you're definitely going to hit his pain points properly, and you're definitely going to make him believe that your solution is the vehicle to where he wants to go, right? And the next step is obviously the closing part, and this should take the rest of the 20% of the call. And the reason why it takes more time here is because you want to drop the price here, right, for your services, right? And when you drop the price, obviously you just want to stay silent. You just want to see the beauty in the silence and make the prospect talk first. Because obviously, if you didn't do the discovery phase properly, you're going to get objections. And if you get objections, you'll have to handle them, right? And as we all know, most objections come from trust. Most objections come from support. Most objections come from logistical issues, and you have to find your way around it to find what the underlying thing is keeping them from moving forward, right? And I have another video on my YouTube about objection handling, right? So I'm not going to go into depth in this video, right? So that's pretty much the structure that I use to one call close clients, right? So if you found this helpful, just leave a like and subscribe to me down below. As well as that, if you want to work with me one on one, just drop me a DM on Instagram.